All right, today we're jumping into one of the most, truly intense chapters you'll find anywhere in ancient literature, Deuteronomy 28. And this thing, it doesn't read like a story. It's more like a binding legal contract where literally everything is on the line.
What if life came with a rule book like that? A real contract, not just for you, but for your whole nation. Everything laid out in plain, black, and white. You do this good thing happens. You do that, and the consequences are spelled out in, honestly, unforgettable detail. Well, that's exactly what we're looking at here.
So at its heart, you gotta understand, this isn't some friendly list of suggestions. Nope. This is a formal agreement, a covenant, handed to an entire people. And it basically lays out two completely different futures, two paths you can go down. And it all comes down to one single, crucial condition. And to really get how serious this is, we have to talk about that word covenant. This is not your everyday casual promise. Think of it more like a high-stakes treaty. It's a sacred, binding agreement. It has conditions, it has parties involved, and the outcomes are spelled out crystal clear. The stakes? Yeah, they couldn't be any higher.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. It's the fork in the road, right? The text literally splits into two paths. Path 1, you obey, and the blessings will, and I love this phrasing, come on you and accompany you. But path 2, you don't obey, and the curses will come on you and overtake you. Just listen to that language. It's so active, so powerful. One walks with you, the other hunts you down.
Okay, so let's start with the good stuff, the path of blessing. What happens if you stick to the terms of the deal? Well, the text paints this picture of just total, all-encompassing prosperity. It's pretty amazing.
And what's so wild is just how specific and broad these promises are. This isn't some vague, you'll feel good kind of thing. No, it's super practical. We're talking about being blessed in the city, blessed in the country. Your family, your kids, blessed. Your crops, your animals, blessed. Even your baking supplies, your basket and your kneading trough. It covers literally everything, right down to when you walk out the door in the morning and when you come back at night. It is, in a word, total.
But it doesn't stop there, not even close. The blessings start with you and your family, but then they zoom out. They scale up from personal prosperity to this incredible vision of national power and global influence. And here's how that looks on a national scale. Your enemies? Defeated. Your economy? Booming, like ridiculously prosperous. You're not just another nation, you're set apart as a holy people. Other countries will respect you, maybe even fear you a little. And get this, even the weather cooperates. The heavens open up and send rain right when you need it.
And this quote, this really is the bottom line for the blessings. It's the grand prize. The promise isn't just about being comfortable or safe. It's about leadership. It's about being the head and not the tail. You will be at the top, period. Never at the bottom. What a promise, right?
All right, so we've seen the good part. Now we have to flip the coin over. And if you thought the blessings were detailed, well, the curses for breaking this deal are laid out with a kind of terrifying, systematic precision that is just chilling.
And notice how this kicks off. It's a perfect, almost haunting mirror image of the blessings. Every single thing that was promised to be blessed is now cursed. City and country, family, crops, livestock, your finances, even just your daily routine. It's an exact reversal. And that symmetry, man, it is absolutely deliberate and incredibly effective.
And from there, things just spiral downwards, fast. The curses pile on top of each other. It starts with sickness, disease, fever. Then the environment turns on you. Drought, blight, that incredible imagery of a sky of bronze and ground of iron. Basically, nothing grows. And when you're weak from hunger, what happens? Military defeat. You become, as the text says, a thing of horror for everyone else to see.
But it gets even worse, because the collapse then turns inward. It becomes psychological. We're talking about madness, blindness, total confusion of heart. Society itself breaks down. There's no safety. Your family structure is destroyed. Everything you work for is taken by someone else. And the final crushing blow? Exile. Being ripped from your home and sent to a nation you don't even know.
So you can see the way this whole chapter is built is just brilliant in a terrifying way. It's not just a random list of bad stuff. The author is deliberately creating this perfect, awful mirror of all the blessings. Why? To make the choice and the consequences of that choice absolutely impossible to forget. Let's look at a few of these direct parallels, because they are powerful. Remember the blessing for battle?
Your enemies will flee from you in 7 directions. Total victory. Now look at the curse. It's the exact opposite. You will flee from them in 7 directions. Total defeat.
And it's the same thing with the economy. The blessing, you will lend to many nations but will borrow from none. You're the world's bank, basically. The curse, they will lend to you, but you will not lend to them. A complete economic reversal from creditor to debtor. And here's the one that really just sums it all up. That ultimate promise, the Lord will make you the head, not the tail, gets flipped on its head. The curse, they will be the head, but you will be the tail. From leader to follower, from the top to the very bottom. The reversal couldn't be more total.
So you have to ask, why? Why write something with this much detail, this much rhetorical power? Well, it's pretty clear. It's meant to be more than just a boring list of rules. It's designed to leave a mark, a permanent impression. It's all about making you feel the immense weight of the choice that's on the table.
And you know what? The text actually tells us its own purpose. It says these things, especially the curses, will be a sign and a wonder forever. Think about that. They're not just punishments. They're meant to be a giant, shocking, unforgettable object lesson for every generation that comes later. A lesson about what happens when you keep the deal and when you break it.
And this might be the most jarring part of the whole chapter. The text says that just as God took delight in making the people prosper, God would also delight in their ruin and destruction if they broke the covenant. Wow. That really frames these consequences not as some kind of random cosmic accident, but as a direct, intentional outcome based entirely on the people's actions.
So, at the end of the day, we're left with a really big question. What does it mean for a whole culture, for a people, to live under the shadow of a choice this absolute? A choice where the options are total blessing or total catastrophe, with no middle ground. I mean, that's a framework that's bound to have a massive impact, one that's echoed down through the centuries, shaping how a people see themselves and their place in the world.